How are you doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that you are being able to hang in there and wait for the world to go back to normal. Speaking of abnormal, today we are going to talk about the moon. And the moon and your moon sign represents everything that makes you vulnerable. So it has everything to do with your emotional attachments, your love language, the way you attach to people and things, the way you understand and process your own emotions. And for this discussion, I found it quite fitting to have my painting of the moon card ready to show you guys. I made this painting 2 years ago. That's when I started working on my tarot project. I wanted to create a tarot deck of my own. And this is something that I still haven't given up on. I stopped working on it after a few months, but I still have the paintings and I would like to continue. So after I have finished this painting of the moon, I'm going to move on to the next one. And if you're interested in this process, or perhaps interested in seeing the next cards as they as they come about, feel free to follow me on Patreon, because that's where I have shared this work so far, and that's where I'm going to share most of it from this point on as well. So hopefully I'm going to be able to finish this project. So far I have 3 paintings, one of the World card and one of the 4 of Pentacles, both of which are also shown on my Patreon in a video from 2 years ago. But I also intend on creating a website for my work and for my tarot readings in general. So hopefully all of these new things are soon going to come to fruition. I'm going to try my best to make it happen. And perhaps if you guys are interested, we could do some relaxing painting videos as well. Let me know if you are interested in that sort of thing. So, as I've mentioned in the beginning, in this video we are going to talk about the moon signs, and I'm going to draw 1 card for each moon sign as well. We're going to get started with Capricorn. Capricorn moon. Capricorn is quite a serious sign. If you have Capricorn moon, that means you find it difficult to fully accept people for who they are. You're constantly trying to improve everybody, and you're really hard on yourself as well. And Capricorn moon people, sometimes when they get hurt, and they can get hurt pretty easily, they will take revenge. And the way they do it is they make you have a taste of your own medicine. Capricorn is preoccupied with the idea of justice. So a Capricorn moon person will find it hard to let things go. But they are very industrious, and if they are going through any sort of heartache or any disappointment, it's best for them to focus on work and try to make things better that way. Wallowing in their own pain is not really helping them. We have the Two of Pentacles for you if you have Capricorn moon. The Two of Pentacles is about flexibility, but still, it's an earthy sign, just like Capricorn. Pentacles represent the earth element. So, you don't have to lose your authentic self in order to be happy. You can remain who you are. You can be your Capricorn self in your moon. But it's important to keep things moving. And sometimes, within the context of who you are, you can let go of certain elements of what you think make you who you are. Those things that perhaps you build your identity on. It's a good idea to play around with those things a little bit. Do not get attached to one thing too much. And in your relationships, understand that change is the nature of the game. That it's always going to be a game of transformation, just like the butterfly transforming into a completely different version of itself. And it's for the best. The next one is Aquarius moon. If your moon sign is Aquarius, then you are a lover of strange things, or even stranger things. Aquarius is kind of the odd one out, always, in the zodiac. Aquarius is widely misunderstood, has an airy element, because it's air, and having an Aquarius moon makes you less detached, less attached rather. So there's a little bit of detachment going on. And although you probably have lots of friends, because connections and intellectual stimulation is Aquarius's bread and butter, you will probably find it difficult to commit in friendships and relationships. And it's hard for you to stick to a plan, even when it comes to these relationships. Lo and behold, we have the moon. So there's a little bit of fragmentation when it comes to relationships. Perhaps a milder form of splitting, where you cannot or really connect with a person's unified entity of who they are, a nuanced human being with faults and positive attributes. It's difficult for you to conceal all of those different concepts, and sometimes that creates a war in your mind. The Nine of Wands is about protecting yourself. Aquarius is not particularly intuitive. When you feel, you base your feelings on your thoughts. So you're trying to figure other people out. You're trying to understand them based on what they say. But it's important that you remember that words can be very misleading. The way people present themselves sometimes can be entirely false. And you yourself might find yourself wanting to transform who you are and present a different picture. The challenge for Aquarian moon is to learn to connect in an authentic way. And this card is telling you, the message for you right now is to take it slow. Whoever you are connecting with, take a step back. Analyze. You're good at it. Your analysis of other people, for the most part, is very accurate. You cannot always rely on your intuition because your intuition might lead you astray. But if you use your rational, objective reasoning abilities, you will be able to get to the bottom of this. Pisces moon. The moon and Pisces mix pretty well because Pisces is a water sign, very emotional, very gentle, very peaceful, but also deeply artistic. And the moon sign does not only rule our emotional attachments, but it also rules our lunacy, our subconscious, our dreams. And Pisces can immerse herself pretty deep into this lunar world of madness. So it can be an interesting combination. So you are probably quite artistic, easily offended, easily changing your moods and opinions and views on other people, easily suggestible. And for you, I think the biggest challenge is to not only flow with your intuition, but also have some structure in your life. Because for Aquarius, the opposite was true. Aquarian moon has a lot of structure, at least intellectually, so much so that it even interferes with his clear vision of things. For Pisces, the opposite is true. A Piscean moon makes you very sort of dreamy and just floaty in life. Here's what the card is telling you. The Ace of Wands. You know what you love. That's one thing that is very clear to you, what you love to do in life. Because you feel it. You might think it's not right. You might think it's not a good way to earn money or a good way to present yourself to the world or whatever. but you feel it, you know it. And the Ace of Wands is a boost of creativity. It's the cards instructing you to go for what you love and do it fiercely, relentlessly, uncompromisingly. Taking action is essential for you because you like to dream. You like to immerse yourself in your fantasy world, which is rich and complicated and exciting. But in order to be happy, you also need to apply yourself. You also need to make effort. And the Ace of Wands is here to tell you that it's possible and that you should go for it. Aries moon. If your moon is in Aries, you're likely very impulsive, quick to change your opinions and your ideas on where a relationship is going. You're quick to love, but you're also quick to judge. And although you can be obsessive in love, so you can go to the very end to to impress your partner, you can also drop them as easily the next day. So for you, I believe it's a challenge to keep your moods and emotions in check. Let's see what the cards have to say about your moon sign. We have the Chariot. Well, it seems like the tarot is basically just cheering you on. The tarot is encouraging you to go with these interesting bursts and ebbs and flows of emotion, and to really make the best of it. Turn it into a performance, turn it into arts, make it your life purpose to go through these different stages and to really go deep with them, because for Aries it's sometimes difficult to get to the profound, more meaningful layers of life, because they are just so driven by this crazy energy to accomplish things and to show the world, and this curiosity to want to see the world as well. So if you cannot go deep, then go all out on the experience of this passionate, adventurous ride of emotions, and allow it to take you where it will. Taurus moon. Well, if your moon is in Taurus, then that means that you value things that you can touch, things that represent value to you. More often than not, Taurus moon people like stuff. So they like objects. They connect with antiquities, for example, or paintings, or they like to collect stuff. You're interested in making progress in life. You like to see the fruits of your labor grow. You like to reap your rewards. You're very consistent and very considerate and cautious of hurting other people's feelings and also protecting your own. So very much the opposite of the Aries moon experience. And the tarot with the Knight of Pentacles is telling you to accept that you cannot go all out all the time. The Knight of Pentacles is about the ebbs and flows of creativity. It's about the natural process of sometimes losing motivation and drive and not being able to accomplish everything that we have set out to do. So it's a card inviting you to accept your flaws. Taurus has kind of a perfectionist side, and perfectionism in emotions, or in terms of things that we love, can be very dangerous, very destructive. So this card is just asking you to accept that in your relationships and in your professional life, in everything that you love in life, you will sometimes fall short of other people's expectations, and that's okay. And most importantly, you will fall short of your own expectations, and that's okay too. That it's a process, and you will be able to pick it up from where you left off eventually. Just give yourself some time, be patient, and allow your natural drive to resurface when it will. Our next contestant is Gemini moon. Moon and Gemini. Now, what I said about Aquarius, you might be interested in checking that out as well, because Aquarius and Gemini are both air signs. And so there is a lot of similarities here, in that Gemini would like to know everything about everything. Gemini has incredible thirst for knowledge. A Gemini moon will want you to find a partner in life who is intellectually stimulating, but you have a hard time really giving it time. So you're very impatient with people. You don't allow enough space and time for these relationships to grow. So that's one of the challenges. More often than not, your partner is youthful in appearance and in speech. They might even be younger than you, because you're just attracted to that younger energy. And here's what the tarot would like you to focus on. We have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is asking you to consider that relationships are slow to build, that not everybody is on the same wavelength as you are. They are not speeding down the lane at the same pace as you. They cannot be up to speed always. It's hard to find a match to your energy, because you are very excitable, you're very enthusiastic, and your thinking is very quick moving, very mercurial, obviously. So the Page of Pentacles is asking you to consider that you need to give people a chance. You need to allow them to show themselves to you. That this is, if you'd like your relationships, your friendships to deepen and to become more meaningful, you simply need to bite your tongue a little bit, because you can be a little bit critical. You see things very clearly, and your tongue can be sharp at times. So just allow people to express themselves to you, and take your time with your relationships. Just slow down a little bit and see what that does for you. Our next sign is Moon in Cancer. Moon is actually exalted in Cancer, so that's one of its natural placements. Moon likes to be in Cancer. Cancer is all about emotional security. Moon in Cancer people are very deep and sensitive beings. Their feelings can be hurt at the drop of a hat. You're very protective of your own feelings, whether you realize it or not. You're always hiding from other people for fear of being exposed, ridiculed, mocked. Your challenge is to find a community that accepts you for who you are, and to find that stability in life, because for you as a Cancer moon, it's vital to have that, to have people in your corner. You're not a loner, even though you might think of yourself as one. You need support. You need people to provide you with that stability, and also you to for you to be able to provide the same thing to other people. And interestingly, the cards are just repeating the same thing that I've said. The Three of Cups, these birdies on the branch, hanging out, having a good time. It's all about realizing that you want to belong, accepting this side of yourself. It can be hard, because rejection, the fear of rejection for Cancer moon people is extremely strong. I would say stronger than any other moon sign. So for you to take that leap of faith and join a community is quite a big thing, but this is actually what you need to do. You need to seek out those people in life who are willing to back you up. Leo moon sign. Leo is a majestic being in the zodiac. Leo loves to shine, loves to be generous, loves to help people out. They have a big heart. So for you as a Leo moon, it's important to be able to give people that feeling that they have a hero coming to save them if they need it. So that's kind of the role that you like to put yourself into in your relationships. You like to save people. You like to impress people with how useful and how smart and how good you are, which is inherently a little bit narcissistic, but your heart is in the right place with the Leo moon for the most part. And we have the Knight of Pentacles for you, which is telling you that it's all right. It's okay to be this way. There's nothing wrong with wanting to help people out, but always make sure that your help is practical. What I'm seeing here is a flair for the dramatic in Leo, the theatrical. Appearances are sometimes more important than the actual result of an action. And so the tarot is asking you to really carefully examine in your relationships whether what you're doing makes actual practical sense, or is it just going to make things more complicated for the other person? Are you working hard in the right direction, or are you working on something that will eventually implode? The Knight of Pentacles is about wanting to make progress, but not having enough stamina or not having the knowledge to be able to tell where your actions are going to take you. So this is just a little bit of a reminder to take that extra minute or two to think about before you act in any given direction. Virgo moon. For some reason, this is the moon sign that I have seen the most in my life. This is the most frequent moon sign I've seen. I don't know if it's a personal thing. I don't know if it's a statistics thing. But anyway, most of the people I know or have read for seem to have Virgo moon. Now let me explain to you what Virgo is about, what makes Virgo tick. Virgo loves to be useful. Virgo wants perfection and harmony. And if you have Virgo moon, your sense of satisfaction in your relationships comes from a feeling of job well done, a feeling of having satisfied people around you to the fullest extent, being there for others. You're a completely loyal friend. And in your romantic relationships as well, you tend to be practical. So you show your love by doing favors or solving problems for other people. You love solving problems, and you have the talent for it. And we have the Ten of Pentacles to remind you that this should go both ways. Virgo moon, you might tend to lose yourself in the process, and you might forget about the principle of reciprocity, but your friendships and your relationships in general should be a two-way street. Don't forget that you should also be nurtured and supported by these relationships. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is representing. It's a network of value, a network of help. And that's how you can make progress in life, by connecting with people who are looking out for your best interest as well as you are for theirs. A mutually supportive system where you keep each other in check, but you're also making sure that the other person has all the opportunities that they should and that they can in order to move forward in life. So just make sure that you remember that it's an important element of the Virgo moon to make sure that there's reciprocity. Libra moon. Libra is a sign of diplomacy, of using your words very carefully. It's an air sign, so it has everything to do with communication and the intellect and thinking. And so for a Libra moon, it's very, very important not to offend anybody. And formalities and the way you express things, emotions, they think it's an art, and they want to make sure that they do it very well, and they are focused on making sure that the other person in the relationship, romantic or friendship or familial relationship, whatever it may be, they want to make sure that the other person feels appreciated. Libra moon people are great at giving compliments, great at feeling the other person important, and great at keeping peace. So they are very good mediators between people who are in a conflict with one another. But it's important for a Libra moon to understand that their anger needs to be expressed every now and then as well. They have a really hard time showing negative emotion. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of frustrations, and it's kind of like the way you can imagine this card manifest is like a roadblock in the middle of the road, and you're trying to get home, and you really need to go to the bathroom, and you haven't had a shower in days, and you're hungry, and you have a job to do which is due tomorrow morning, so the deadline is really close. All of those things, and then your phone starts ringing. So it's all those little frustrating, material, physical obstacles in your way that make life torturous sometimes. And so if you are in a situation where you feel like you're being frustrated by life, even though it's hard for you, don't hold back. Allow your anger to show. It's healthy. It's good for you. You're trying to be very polite and tactful at all times, but make sure that this tactfulness does not eat you up inside. Scorpio moon. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's quite a mysterious sign. People are sometimes afraid of Scorpios. A Scorpio moon will make you someone incredibly inquisitive. So if you get to know someone and you like them, you will want to know everything about them. For you, curiosity, uncovering secrets, understanding the deep psychology of another person is basically an act of love. It's how you love the other person. There's a possessiveness. There's a almost a crushing intensity that other people sometimes will not respond to in the most positive way. So for you as a Scorpio moon, it would be important to make sure that although you are doing what you're doing and you cannot change who you are, to just accept that people will not always respond to these intense energies. For example, the same way, for example, someone with a Libra moon or a Virgo moon or Sagittarius moon, they would be petrified. They would not be able to understand what you're about, and they would run away, most likely. So the Chariot is telling you to be proud of who you are. Your Scorpio moon makes you a very deeply engaged person in your relationships and also in the things that you love. So when you love to do something, you give it your all. And there's this, these flames of intensity all around. And if you accept yourself, if you go through this radical acceptance of who you are and what you do, you will care less about how other people react to this being that you are. So you should not care that much about the acceptance of your actions. There's a lot of value in how you relate to these things that you love, and your passion can be very useful to the world. Just make sure that you understand that it will not always be welcomed. And finally, Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius moon people love to have fun. For you, the one thing that makes life worth living is laughter. And you like to make fun of things. You like to make fun of yourself, your friends. You like to make light of serious situations. That's how you cope. You're very open-minded, very curious. You want to know everything about everything. Very much like a Gemini moon. But you are more grounded in the understanding that these things only make sense if you not only put your mind to it, but if you also commit to these things. So with Sagittarius, there's a level of proactivity. That's great. Although Sagittarius can be can lose his or her drive pretty easily, but they will start again if they are really interested in something, and they do realize that it's a struggle. So what you love, how you love, that's what your moon sign represents. And for you, Sagittarius moon, it's important to have a feeling of kinship with your partner, to feel that you come from the same place, even if it's not a geographical place, but perhaps a spiritual or a metaphysical background. You see these roots reaching into the ground. You need to have that feeling that you are made of the same matter, basically. And also to be able to be childish with another person. The Six of Cups is a card of childlike joy and enthusiasm. You want to connect with that childish side of you, and you want to be able to explore that with your partner. So when choosing your partner, just make sure that you're not putting up a front of any kind, that you are presenting yourself just the way you are, a silly person who likes to make fun of things, but is also, philosophically deep, but not dry and serious. So just try to accurately present who you are and attract those people who understand that sort of energy. And that should be the key to your relationships, and also the things that you love to do should have an element of childishness to them, a playfulness. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope to see you in another one.